a stone. They used to carve it to the middle, where they used to have one for seeds, one for water. That's the manger. You can't make a wooden manger like the Italian priest here. He made a wooden manger there. You can't. You know why? Because if you see sheep and lamb,
They eat it.
they eat the wood.
Yeah.
So if you need to make a new manger each few days, and it's not a wooden country. Second, if you use it, they use it for seeds. And seeds, it must be perfect without any holes, because you will lose the seeds. And people, they were looking for things, not losing. So the mangers, it used to be the stone, the limestone, one for seeds and one for water. And that's where the child, he was wrapped and laid in a manger. So the sheep are inside, ladies cooking here. Imagine the family are eating here. Holes, because this used to be a storage room as well. They used to store stuff all the year. Imagine there is no fridge, so if you make food and something left, they never waste food. So what they do, they put it inside like the hole, this one, they close it, and it became a natural fridge. More than the cave. It became cooler, more than, so that can keep the food for 2-3 days. And they used to dry stuff, of course, so they need to keep it all the year there. The tomatoes, they used to dry it to cook it. My grandmother, she's, the last one I remember from those who used to dry tomatoes. Today you can find it in cans, and no, back then, and it was tasty more than today. I can guarantee that for you. But that's how it used to be. So if you like to call this place whatever you like, you can. If you like to call it stable, it is. Storage room, you can. Kitchen, living room, first part of the house, poor part of the house, whatever you like, but at the end, it's a natural cave. So why Jesus was born here? Let's try to imagine what the Bible is telling us to understand it. Joseph and Mary in Bethlehem. Look, he's saying the time came, she's giving the birth, where they will be sleeping, at the upper room, right? Now imagine the family, they sleep at the upper room, a Jewish family, remember that. A Jewish family are sleeping at the upper room, and a lady, she's giving the birth for the child. What she needs?
Water.
Water, space, clothes, privacy. Right? So, that all these things, they can offer it in the upper room, right? But what if she gave the birth there and it will be blood? What will happen?
Get dirty.
It will be dirty. So she's kicking out the family outside that room for how long?
7 days.
40 days.
40.
Days. Blood, 40 days. Now until today, when the ladies here, Christian ladies, give the birth, they never get in the church before 40 days. They enter with their child, and this is tradition, we still have it until today. We bring our child to the church, whatever, girl or boy, after 40 days with the mother that she became clean.
40 days.
So these traditions, why? Because remember, originally our families, they were Jews, so a lot of tradition continued with us with the centuries, and the people, they refused to leave it. Why? Because tradition sometimes stronger than religion, and people, they can't understand that connection, but it's so strong. So imagine that lady, she will make the place dirty. So what they need to bring her to the first part of the house, where she gave the birth for the child, and he was wrapped in swaddling clothes. You will find in several areas in the world new translation for the Bible or new copies, and they deleted swaddling. They said he was wrapped in clothes, because these people, they don't understand anything. Swaddling as a word, clothes, it's the most important word. It was mentioned in the birth of Jesus. Why? That's what we are going to talk about later, because we still have more to talk about swaddling clothes and why. So I want you, if you want to take a picture, you can, Then we are going to face a little bit the field over there. On your way out, to the left and right, you will find broke mangers. What left? These broke mangers, it's around 1800 years old. Okay? And some of it, it's like 2000 years old. It was found around the area here that it was used. So it comes to us that we can get in, because usually this is the high season for us, but there is no season since always 2 years the work for us stopped, so the situation, it doesn't help at all, but that's really good for you, because you are moving freely around. It's not good for us, I know, but it's good for you. But it's good for me to be with you today after that long time as well without anything. So it's light of hope sometimes. So we are not that far from the bus station, and be ready, please.
I know. I grew around and through it.
And we used to have October last year, it must be overbooking for us. Suddenly everything stopped. So this situation, it's affected the local people, that they are trying to find as well better future, not for themselves but for their children, to be honest, because already we were suffering in this country for so long. So for us, white beer, it's became too late for us to look about future. We need to live day by day, but for our children, of course, we think about their future. And that's mainly push the people to live outside. So when you talk about this community, that it continued until today and hopefully for the future. These people, they used to worship here. They used to come to the cave before it's a church, before anything. And the first crosses, as archaeologists discover, it was carved nearby the cave here. Some people, they used to carve. Why to carve crosses in public areas, like caves? The reason why, because it wasn't allowed, it's forbidden. So if you come to have it in a private place, that will cost you your life. The persecution we faced after Jesus, it was huge. And that's the reason why, when it comes to the crosses, it was in public areas where they don't know who made it. That's first. The second thing, let me just tell you about. You will notice, for example, here there is the fish on the column. I don't know if you notice the fish on this column. When you talk about the fish is simple for Christianity. It's used until today. Kul amtum khair. The fish, it's used for Christianity as the symbol. You use it, we use it until today. But do you know what's the fish or why the fish? Ichthus. Ichthus in Greek, the fish. If you take each letter of it, it says Jesus Christ, Son of God, the Savior. But how it was discovered or where it was used for the first time, where you are. When people, they used to gather around the cave, they used to make, the first one used to make like half circle, playing on the ground. If there is a Christian around, used to sit behind them to continue the sign, and they started to communicate. So it was the symbol for communication, especially in the fear that they lived. And until today, I can guarantee for you, when we travel outside the city, when we drive to the other cities, sometimes we recognize each other from the fish on the back of the car. So if we notice, for example, police on the way, we start to give the light for other cars that we know that they are from our city, they are traveling again with us, or anything, If we notice it, we stop anywhere we can find them. So that helped us, and it's still in use until today. So the fish ichthus, that you can find it everywhere, and the painting over here as well. So people, they continued 1st century, 2nd century. 2nd century, something happened. Jews, they complained for the Romans about the Christian community, that they noticed they are always around this place. And they hear about the birth of Jesus and all that. So they came, and the Romans came and they closed the cave. And after they close it, they destroy the area around. They destroy the area around, and they just make an altar for Adonis, one of the Roman gods, above the cave to stop people not to worship. And they make a garden here. They remove the houses. In this way, they never stop people not to worship, but they save it for it. Because the place, if you keep it, the people, they will build on the top and they will just expand around and everything. So you can't stop them. But in this way, they keep it safe. And when they left it safe for us, back to the 4th century, they came and the first church was built by Constantine Mother Helena, that you will hear about her everywhere. The history of the Holy Land, it depends on main dates that it's so important. First one, Helene. Now I'm going to stop a little bit, waiting for the others to join us, because here I'm going to talk about the history of the church. Just here they are, already on time. Okay, so just to explain the history of the church, then I will be bringing you down there to the cave. Okay, we will be leaving from the door over there back again here. I think here you got your pictures, but now when I explain, you will understand all what you have here. Ladies, let's see if they are ready. Ready? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the church where we are. 4th century, when Constantine Mother Santa Helena came to the country, she started to search for the holy sites in Jerusalem, looking for the place where is crucifixion area, all that. You know what happened? She got a letter from the local. That will give you the chance. But the mangers we have here, it's little ones. You know why? Because it's chicken and birds.
Oh.
When we have this size manger, that's for sheep and lamb.
Oh.
When we have it larger a little bit, that's the one for camels and donkeys and horses. Because we have different, right?
No cows?
No,
This
they
country,
didn't have cows.
it's imported from outside,
Okay.
and so late. It wasn't exist
Okay.
early in the area. That's why people, most of the time, they talk about lamb, they talk about sheep. Why? Because cows, it wasn't here.
Okay.
So you can take, if you want to have a look, if you want to take a picture, you can. And then let's gather outside and we will face the part of the field left until today. The Christian community of Bethlehem asking her to come and to build the church above the birthplace. That's the difference between Bethlehem as a location, between the rest of the sites. So she came here and she built the first church above the cave over here. But her church was left only 200 years. And the reason why, because Samaritans, you know Samaritans, right? Samaritans, in their revolt against the Byzantine Empire, destroyed all churches in the country, and they came and they destroyed the first church as well. Now, when that church was destroyed, that's the period of Justinian, the emperor who came back again from Rome. He stopped their revolt completely, and he rebuilt the churches again. He came to Bethlehem to rebuild the church. He found the church down, but he found the pillars left safe. So he used the same pillars of the old church and rebuilt the new church. But there was a problem. The church, it was 60 centimeters underneath. And the entrance to the cave, it was from the middle. The entrance, it was from the middle. Entrance and exit. So he raised the church to close the main entrance, the door over here. And he did the entrance from the right and the exit from the left. So these pillars are 1700 years old. Now the paintings on it and the mosaic, it came by the Crusaders. When the Crusaders came, they restored the church and they added these paintings and the mosaic up there. I will be bringing you down there to visit the birthplace and the manger and to tell you about it. Then I will be bringing you back again here if anybody else would like.